his body, like they did a port for him for dialysis, expecting, because the cancer started in his kidneys, expecting that he's going to go through dialysis. So alhamdulillah, subhanallah, yani, he didn't have to do dialysis.
Wow, subhanallah.
Because and the nephrologist, he was like, I was expecting right away dialysis, but he showed us different. Wallah al-azim, I feel like Awais was like an open Quran to everybody in the hospital, because some people, they were like, what did you do? What were you saying when we hung the IV pole? I was like, nothing, I was just reading Quran. I was reading this Al-Fatiha. I would read it more than 36 times, 360 times a day, because one sheikh told me to do that. I was holding on to everything, and I wasn't like, I'm not a perfect Muslim or anything. But once you're drowning, you hold on to every single thing, even a piece of paper. If there's a piece of paper on the ocean, on the shore, and you're drowning, you can hold on to that paper. So at that moment, I was holding on to every single thing that would, like, people tell me, if you read Surah Al-Baqarah 50 times, I would read it. If they told me read Surah Al-Fatiha 360 times, I would read it. Al-Mu'awwadat, Al-Adhkar, كل حاجة. That's all I was holding on to, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I know He has the power to do it. None of that. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. So he's the one who taught this doctor. What makes me think this doctor is going to save my son? I'm going to go to the bigger authority, right? Like if you go into a job interview and you want this job so desperately, but you're going to have to meet first the manager. This manager was, he was judging you based on his own emotions that day. But you knew you'd be a perfect fit that day. Are you going to give up, or are you going to go to the CEO? If you're smart, you'll go to the CEO, right? And prove to the CEO you're a perfect fit for this job. That's what I was doing. I was going to the CEO.
It's all great points. Great talking points too, and very deep conversation, and this is the part where I'm like happy that we get to reach to this point, because I do want people to understand why are you sharing this? Why is this important to put it out there? And even during that process, I was reading that you were documenting it. Like at a certain point, it hit you like, you know what, I should like take note of some of the stuff that's happening. Why did you feel like it was important?
The first thing when Awais was diagnosed and everything was going, I was like, everybody's like, oh, he's 2 years old, and it's a good thing. He's not going to recall any of this. Kids are resilient. They're not going to remember. He's not, and then I was like, alhamdulillah. So this is my own memory. Me, my family, my husband, this is our memory. Why am I going to let him relive the memory that he didn't, Allah chose him to have at a young age? Who am I to like things? So I was like, khalas, whatever's happening here, nothing is gonna have any recalls for that. Like he would know he was diagnosed, but that's it. But then when I start seeing Awais going through what he went through, going through the pain that I or anybody like strong or anything cannot handle, like when we get cold sores, khalas, we look for anything to, like, we can't even move or anything, right? He had all those like sores in his mouth. He was bleeding. He was everything. And I was like, I can't even handle that pain. And then one night when he was like throwing up blood and pooping blood and like coding, and the doctors are all over him, and he came back out of it, and I looked at him, and then I was like, no, la wallah, I need to document this. I need to have proof for him that one day I know that he's going to be a teenager, and he's going to come crying to me, Mom, my friend did this to me. Mom, this does hurt. Mom, this, I cannot deal with this. Life is too hard. And I can bring that out to his face. I'm like, look, Awais, what you did at a 2-year-old. If you can handle this, nothing else in life can beat you now. You're stronger than ever.
That deserves...
Yeah.
No, yeah, because that's...
Yeah, so I was like, no, I need to show him, because he's still going to live his life. He's still going to be a normal person. We have our ups and downs. there's people that cannot handle pain. There's people that, think, khalas, it's the end of the world. I'm going to commit suicide. I'm thinking, what makes me think what my son is going to go through? I need to show him, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put him through this for a reason. There is a reason for everything. And I know Uwais has a reason. He has a reason. I'm going to connect my dots later on, and I need proof. So I started taking pictures. I started documenting every single move, every single minute. I would write on the door. It was glass. So I would have my markers. I would write exactly step by step what chemo treatment he's going to have today. And I would check off points. And then the doctors and nurses come in, check in. I had it all like in the spot. Ask me if I go back to it now, no. Like I can't. Like I can't go back to it. Like looking back at it or anything. I don't need to. But I need to have it there. Just in case, God knows what in the future. Maybe, Allah alam, inshallah, this kid can one day save a lives or hold even a mom that is going through what I went through.
Give her hope.
I want him to give that mom evidence.
And hope.
And hope. People not go based on evidence. They don't go based on words or things. Oh, well, you don't know nothing. Oh, yeah, I don't know nothing. This is me.
Yep.
Look at me, At this time, I did this. At this time, I died and I came back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I started documenting and having his life that 8 months in a Wikipedia.
So I'm sorry to ask you again. So like within those 8 months, when did you give up, and when did he finally fully recover? Like what was it? Did it just happen in a day where everybody was just like, how was it? Slowly they started seeing progress?
Yes, like I said, the first 3 months were the toughest because Haram, his body was already there was no clear cells in him. It was all cancer cells in him. So once they injected him with all those chemo, drugs, chemicals, his body was fighting really bad, really, really bad, to the point where he cannot handle it.
And you were still there those 3 months?
Yeah. The first 2 months I was there.
Okay. Then you broke your back?
Yeah, and then I broke my back when he was on his 3rd round of chemo. And then I broke my back, and then that's when I was I have to go home. I went home for a week, I think a week and 2 days. And he was with his dad. At that time, he was getting worse and worse. And I was at home. My son didn't leave the ICU. Through the whole time I was at home, my son was at thing. So at that time, I felt like Allah was challenging me even more. Not only physically, but mentally and physically, everything. I was destroyed.
Emotionally?
I was destroyed. Because when my husband FaceTimed me, showing me my son, I'm not there even to hold his hand. It's a big, big factor. But then when that happened, when they called me and then I had to go back, alhamdulillah, he showed him the miracle at that moment when his body started recovering and his cells regenerated and he started accepting the chemo. He didn't have to do dialysis.
Yeah.
And then khalas, it became...
That was 4th month? The 4th month?
Oh,
wow.
Khalas, it became a habit. Uwais was already adapting. This is my new life. This nurse, all his nurses... He had one nurse that was his favorite. He called her his girlfriend. Oh. Because that was his favorite nurse. And then I still remember one time she came and she just met a new boyfriend and then she wanted Uwais approval.
Oh, that's
and then she was like, I think he's going to propose to Uwais. And Uwais started crying.
Oh.
Because that's how, that's all, he was, the nurses and the doctors, everybody was already attached to Uwais. That's our atmosphere that day. Even his radiologist, he was going on a break, on a vacation, and then he wouldn't take his vacation. He was like, my wife is gonna hate you, and she hates you, but I can't leave Uwais because one time
that's it makes you I don't know, it's special.
Yeah. See, when he first was diagnosed, my uncle, he's a doctor in Washington, and my other they were like, no, helicopter, I will bring him right now, take him to the Mayo Clinic, to St. John thing. They already misdiagnosed him. No, we're on it. And I had all my family no, we're ready to take him. 1, 2, 3. And then I had that one doctor, he was like, listen, your son is diagnosed with this kind of cancer, and you're lucky that this doctor, the head of the oncologist floor, he was one of the protocol founders for this. So if you go to a different hospital, his name is going to be on the protocol that they're going to do. And he's here physically. You know what I mean? The whole time, my husband and I, we didn't have any like, why did we move to Indiana?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Subhanallah.
We didn't move to Indiana for like anything specific. We just wanted to move because we thought like, okay, when we got married, we stay out of your family, we stay out of my family, and so we can have a mind of our own and live our own first path, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like in school. It was just like worked out there.
Yeah.
Now we know why we moved to Indiana. Subhanallah. See, this is one of the
Hada
dots that you
qadarullah.
connected. I was like, and then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? No, subhanallah, Allah brought me here for no reason. I had no excuse to like leave Michigan. Yani, you know what I mean? I was strongly attached to my family and all my, we're third generation in Michigan. You know what I mean? I came to Indiana for a reason. I'm going to stick to it. And I told my uncle, no, I'm going to stay in Indiana and I'm going to let my kid take care of the business here. And like I said, everybody, like one time one of the radiologists, on-call radiologist, he misread his x-rays. And I read it before the doctors read it. And the intern doctor came and like, she read it, pretty much told me that there's another part of cancer in him or something like that. Yeah.
That's a big mistake.
And that was at night, and I freaked out. I went crazy. And then the doctor on call, she called the doctors that were like, off work and thing. They all came in. They all came in at 3 a.m. to make sure that what they read, it's not, it was taken care of. That radiologist, he was like, okay, I'm not going to let this happen again. I'm the one who's going to read Oasis labs. Because he had to take x-rays and CAT scans and MRIs back to back to back to back. And if somebody new going to come read it, they have to go to the previous chapter.
Yeah.
And missing one word can make a big difference.
100%.
So he was like, I'm not going to let anybody miss thing. I have to read his labs all the time. And alhamdulillah, by the khalas, we adapted to it. And then he started like his chemicals, they started going in and out, and he would have his bad days and his good days. Like we couldn't leave the hospital because he has febrile and his viruses. He had COVID. Around that time, COVID, my son has...
Because their immunity is not...
Yeah, they were trying to prevent him from having COVID because they don't know anything about COVID then. So they were like, if he gets COVID, we don't know how to react to it and how he would get to it. And so he alhamdulillah, the things that after that, the challenges that we were dealing with was him getting fevers and, fearing that if he gets fever, it gets to like fungal infection. Fungal infection is really bad. It's like one of those that gooey and sticks to the cancer cells. And it's so hard to detach from the cancer cells. And that's what mostly like cancer patients like die from, septic, from fungal or any kind of infection like that. So that was my fear, anything. But subhanallah, Allahumma lak alhamd, when my son was in the ICU room, I would step out of the room, his room, and go and walk through all the other rooms and seeing all those other patients like that has seizures, like lifetime sickness, heart defects, stuff like broken ribs, broken hand, stuff that they have to deal with life. Wallah, I would go back to my room, to my son, and good. Shukr lillah. I was like, alhamdulillah, this is a temporary thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what is cancer? I dealt with cancer like it's nothing because I know it was in and out. I was just asking Allah through the whole time, Ya Allah, don't leave any marks. They wanted to put an NG tube in Oasis because he refused to eat or thing. I fought it. I was like, there's no way you're going to show me my son is sick. Once you put an NG tube in, it's going to, enough, I can see he's a cancer patient. But once you put the tube in, it's going to be proven. I was like, no, I will deal with my son. Wallah al-azim, the nurses would give me his medicine and his food, and they will close the door and walk out. And then they hear me screaming. And then people, who's that? They're like, Mom is dealing with Oasis. I don't care. I would scream at him. I threatened him I would leave. I would think, but I know you're going to take this medicine. You want the NG tube? And I would show him videos. Oasis, this is what you want? You want them to do this to you? And
He's
like, no.
two, mashallah.
And he would take his medicine. After like one medicine would take me 3 hours. It's okay. It's okay. I don't have nothing else to do. That's my entertainment, But I don't put an NG tube on my son's nose.
This is very impressive, mashallah. The will and the strength of a mom is being displayed right now. And Yusuf, we're gonna go ahead and run our next ad, and then we're gonna move into the shout outs. We're gonna give you a chance to give some people a shout out that maybe you didn't get a chance to do it publicly of the support. And also some motivation for you, and then like what's going on with Oasis life today, so we want to hear more about that too. So before we do that, we're gonna give a shout out to Balkan House, Yusuf. So shout out to the Balkan House restaurant, and then we are gonna move on to the last third of this show. So shout out to the Balkan House.
You know what, Yusuf, man? I'm in the mood for some Balkan food.
Yeah, man, me too.
Well, there's no better place to go for Balkan than the Balkan House restaurant. The Balkan House restaurant is famous for their doner kebab sandwiches. But did you know that the Balkan House now serves breakfast? Did you also know that all their food is 100% halal? There are currently 2 Balkan House locations, one in Hamtramck and one in Ferndale. But they now also have
Andy
2
Kamal
food trucks,
Khalil.
so you can book your next party or event with the Balkan House on wheels. If you're looking for a nice place to eat with friendly service and great prices, look no further than the Balkan House restaurant.
Call from
Dr. Kamal.
Brother Kamal, what's going on? We're back live. I'm assuming you're tuning in because I did send him the link right before we got live. Brother Kamal, first of all, how are you? How's everything?
No, I'm not listening. People actually listen to this?
No, I actually.
Is this live?
Yeah, I don't know why they would. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I got your link. So I'm figuring out this technology crap to call in.
Yeah.
So can the lady hear me?
Everyone can hear you right now. We're all listening. She's mentioned your name a couple times. I gave you a shout out as well as the connector, but hearing
Wait, hold on. I'm live?
Yes,
I can
sir.
get shout outs?
Yes.
Quick shout out to the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Afra al-Masmari. Ishaq Ismail. Happy birthday, Ismail. It's my son's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I gotta go quick because I got a life. So I'm gonna talk quick. So can I get the platform for a minute?
You can have it for 3 if you want it.
3? Okay, listen. I hold a lot of animosity towards the community for several reasons. Because there's been an epic failure when it comes to the opioid epidemic. There's been an epic failure when it comes to mental health. There's been an epic failure when it comes to, we lost our ikhlaq. We care more about the League of Legends basketball league than we do one another. And this makes us mentally, well, the R word, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the R word on the air. But let me tell you something. Can Oasis mom hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Listen, the first thing when I deal with Arab patients that they give up is their faith. That's the first thing they do when they give up their faith. I don't know this lady. I've never seen her. She could be 7 foot tall with green hair and I don't know. But I know her son because her son is my son. Did she tell you the time her husband fell? Like he kind of fainted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she say the time that she kind of fell in the hospital, her back gave out?
Yeah.
I laugh at that. The reason why I laugh at that is what other masiba can befall this lady, right?
Yeah.
What else can fall on her? And the only thing you can do besides pray is laugh, because it's okay, why doesn't she go get hit by a car as well? Let's make the situation a little bit more severe. But I will tell you this girl, till this day, I don't know how we met, but till I die, this is my sister. Because I'll tell you why. There are people who deal with stuff irrationally. I'm one of those ignorant people. There are things in our life that we deal with emotionally, and our emotions get the best of us. I'm one of those ignorant people. There are people who are just unequivocally unintelligent and hyperactive. I am one of those people. There's a few people I learned stuff from. One is Afra al-Masmari, but 2, whatever Oasis mom's name is, from Oasis mom, I learned something. And in the Quran, it says, "Ba'd a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, inna Allaha ma'as sabirin." This chick, I'm sorry, this sister of mine is extremely patient. That I'll tell you this: she used to send me videos and pictures of a son that was clinging on for life. I deal with cancer on a regular basis. And I gave this lady probably every wrong opinion in the book, and she's wondering why in Sam hell did I call this Pakistani fool. But she still remained dignified. She still remained intelligent. And she still remained that loving, caring mother. The only problem Oasis' mother has is this, and it's a big problem right now. Now it's on her shoulder. Now it's on her back. I can provide you with the data of people from Kuwait, Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Iran, the entire Middle East of the cancer rate. How children don't have 1/100th of what Owais had. They don't have his capabilities. They don't have his technology. They don't have his treatment. I challenge this lady with the millions watching around the globe, right, Omar? Millions?
Close.
I challenge this lady. How you saved your son's life, you use the knowledge you gained to go save every damn kid there is. Because that's who you are. That's what you're capable of doing. And that is what your goal is now. You know, I'll tell you this. Once again, let me bring up my criticism. I'm 41 damn years old, and let's be honest, I'm pretty freaking adorable. But there's got to come a time and place where you got to kind of stop worrying about, oh my God, I need to go hoop. Oh my God, I need to do this. Oh my God, I need to sit with the boys. Because I'll tell you this, during that year and a half that I knew this lady gave up her life. Her husband, who is, I don't even know his name. His name is, I used to call him Frank. I haven't saved this Frank. Salman. I don't know why I haven't saved this Frank. They gave up their lives. They gave up their ability to even think to save a soul. And these are the types of people we need. Let me tell you this. We come up with this stupid, ignorant number of 1.6 billion Muslims in the world, that we got this stupid Sahur festival that we go to in Shahr Ramadan, that we're going to start lighting up Ramadan trees in our house. I don't need 1.6 billion people. I need the 313 that fought in the Battle of Badr. I'm not one of those people. Oasis' mom is one of those people that would have fought alongside Rasulullah because why? She believed. And that is what I learned from her. You understand me?
Hey, we give him a round of applause. So.
Wow.
And I know, Brother Kamal, this speech was not ready. It is just straight from the head and straight from the heart. So this is straight up from him. And
Let me tell you how I was
No,
introduced.
if this was planned, I would have I would have started out with A'udhu Billahi min shururi, and then I would have tried to impress you with my knowledge base. But no
His
offense,
humor
who the hell are you?
kept me
We ain't
calm.
nobody.
yeah,
We ain't
no.
nobody.
Yeah.
Hey, Brother Kamal, we appreciate you and we
Thank
appreciate the
you.
connection. And in all honesty, thank you for everything, brother.
Hey, real quick, you watched Michigan game yesterday?
I did, and it was a good game for Michigan. I'm a Michigan State guy, but it was a good game for Michigan.
Haram alaikum. Okay. Well, bless you, child. And anyways, I gotta go celebrate my kid's birthday. Happy birthday, Ismail.
Thank you.
Happy
And happy
birthday.
birthday, Ismail.
Happy birthday, Smile.
Till this day.
Hey, Oasis mom.
Hey.
Oasis mom.
No.
Listen,
I,
add me on MySpace.
do they still have my
I think he's just messing.
Hey,
You're a funny guy, Brother Kamal.
He still wants me
I'm
to write
gonna
a
bounce
book.
now, guys.
He's
All right.
pushing me.
No. No, she's not gonna write the book. Steve Urkel is playing me in the movie. That's all I know.
There you go. There you go. Inshallah.
You guys don't know who Steve Urkel
We
is.
do.
We do. Family
Anyway,
matters.
guys.
Family matters.
Oh damn! Shoot, never mind. Damn, my bad. All right,
what
guys.
was his famous line? Urkel had a famous line. What was it?
What's up? No.
I do that.
Yeah,
Did I do that? There you go.
There it is. There you go. All right, man. Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's sound like
Amsterdam. Shout out to Brother Kamal, great guy. And so that kind of leads to my question, right? Which is, you know, give us some names, people that you want to be like, man, this person right here, this person. I mean, obviously you got the nurses, you got the doctors, but like maybe some people, I mean, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, but people that like showed up when you needed them most.
Subhanallah, like, you know, when Allah put you in hardship or anything, He also, like, everything around you becomes like in the challenge, like it filters you. Like you think you're going to like your same routine every day, you're going in same people, same family, same work habits, everything, same thing. But then when something different hits you, it filters you, and it filters you from the good and the bad. It filters you from the people that you think they're good but they're bad, or you think they're bad and they become good. and introduce you to some other people that it can be a lifetime warranty, you know. And that's what I knew when Awais was in his sickness. Subhanallah, it showed me people and humble people and like what a true Muslim needs to do at that time. It's not about, oh, I hate you, I love you, I have something against you. At that time, it's you amiling Allah. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if your brother in Islam is going through hardship, give him a dua or give him a sadaqah or give him like, ask how he is doing. You know, that's the sunnah. When I went through what I had to go through and those people around me did that, it made me realize what a big difference and impact does it make. Yani subhanallah, Dr. Kamal was one of them. Like one of my friends, she's here in Michigan, her aunt went through cancer and he was one of the mentors for them and thing. And then she was like to me, hey, can you call this doctor? He's here and he's really good. Like he has cancer, experience and thing. At that moment, you know, like I said, you hold on to anything. I'm like, okay, give me his number. I called him and I was like, oh, you don't know me, but one of my friends and my son is going through that. And automatically he just, like with his sense of humor, he was like to me, let me talk to the doctors. And then I was like, okay, yani, what do you need to tell them? And then, subhanAllah, one of the fellow residents went through the same school that he went through.
Oh, subhanAllah.
So first, like, they were talking.
Small world.
Yeah, they were talking about that. But through the whole time, like, I knew she was, like, looking at me and, like, trying to go out. And then she looked at, like, she went open. He was asking her questions to let him know what is Awais' prognosis. Like, what is Awais', like, how is he going to talk to me? Is there hope? Or is he going to prepare me for something different? So he asked her, like, after the fact, he told me, he was like, the first thing that he asked her is, has it reached to his brain or spinal cord? Because once that's, like, very difficult. And then once she's told him no, he was like, okay, give me back Awais' mom right away. And then ever since then, like, everything I need, like, if Awais is going through something that I'm, like, when he codes and everything, I call him, like, at 2 a.m., he answers. Wallah al-azim, till this day, wallah al-azim, I haven't met this guy. Yani, he was my angel through the whole time. Like, telling me, okay, step by step, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what's going to happen. You know, giving me, like, motivations. You got this. Go. Your son needs you. Do you want to take a 10 break? I'm willing to come to Indiana. I'm willing to come and give you a break. Wallah al-azim, like, I haven't met this guy. Awais' birthday was in the ICU. When he turned 3, it was in the ICU. He made all his friends, everybody I think that he knows in the book, sent me a voice message on WhatsApp for Awais. Happy birthday, Awais. I'm your friend. He FaceTime his kids to Awais to tell, like, you know, play with them, like, you know, on his iPad. The small little things. That's his part. And it was a huge part till this day. Wallah adim, for me, my husband, I need, inshallah, تكون له صدقة جارية to the end. Yani, the small things that you do thing. And there's other people that until this day, wallah, I did not meet. They just knew of me through a friend. Like, I get these ladies, they call me, like, you know, they're students in Indianapolis. They call me and they were like, hey, can you send the nurse down? I brought you some food. And I don't know these people, you know. My family, my uncles, yani, that I love so dearly, like, they gave up, like, their work. They took all their kids and they came down, and there was no visitors allowed, but they came down to the main lobby. They brought everything into the Target, all the toys in Target for Awais. Shipments every single day. My friends and my family, like, toys, the room, like, every day Awais receives a package. You know, my sisters, Allah yahfadhin, like, my sisters, I have 5 sisters, including me. You know, my parents, they're like the legend, you know. They gave out their life for 4 months straight. My dad gave out his work, his everything. And he came and he moved into my house, him and my mom, to take care of my child so they don't take my baby away from me that far. And if I need anything, my dad will be there. Yani, alhamdulillah, if it wasn't for my dad and my mom, wallah al-azim, I don't know if يعني سبحان الله الحمد